Awesome. Here I
How'd I
am.
do? All
Yes.
right. So, hey, thanks so much for coming on. I really appreciate it.
Yes, absolutely. I'm excited. I'm the first one, and we're going to keep this going.
You are it. So going if you could tell, I mean, most people that are in real estate should know about you because we should be doing constantly research and learning and everything. But for the people that don't and for the people that do, can we get a little background?
Yeah, absolutely. So I got into the business back in 2015. Prior to that, I worked in marketing and advertising. I did that for over 8 years. I absolutely loved what I did. But it got to a point that I felt like I was being overworked and underpaid, and I was working in very negative environments. And once I started to explore real estate, I saw that there were so many different possibilities and opportunities for me to be able to grow and not really have a limit as to what I could achieve. So in 2015, I got my license. When I got my license, I knew I pretty much didn't know anything when it came to real estate, like calling, knocking, scripts, or anything like that. So I remember going on YouTube because I said, let me see if someone out there is putting out video.
Yeah.
I wasn't finding a lot of content, and that kind of sparked my interest to start creating content myself, just documenting my journey. And at the same time, when I got started, I started going after expireds and for sale by owners. I started quickly learning in the beginning that a lot of agents were afraid of going after seller leads and more specifically expireds and FISBOs just because a lot of these homeowners have had a bad experience. They're not really looking to work with agents or they just have a lot of different objections. So I said to myself, you know what? I am going to work. I'm becoming very good with my objection handling, my communication, and as I'm doing this, I'm going to document my journey and put it out on YouTube so that other agents that are kind of going through what I'm going through can learn. And pretty much that's how my real estate and my journey on YouTube started back in 2015. And ever since then, I've just stayed consistent to the point that where I am now.
And how do you contribute? So going into a little bit into your social media, how do you think that that contributes? Let's say on a percentage, how big do you think social media is in real estate and in business?
I would say it's like 80, 90%. Nowadays, everyone's on social media, whether it's Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, Facebook. Many times people are not answering text messages or phone calls, but they will answer their DMs on Instagram, or they would rather, connect on social media platforms. I know for me, back when I started in 2015 on YouTube, I knew that video was going to be the next big thing that was coming up. There were not a lot of agents posting content on that platform. So I think that also was a big benefit to me. But over time, as I started building that platform, it not only helped me, document and show what I was learning, but it led to agents finding out who I was, agent to agent referrals, companies reaching out for partnerships and sponsorships, the YouTube partner program. So, I mean, there was a lot of different opportunities that opened up just because of that one specific platform.
Right. And so what I see, and every time I try to do content and I do stuff, what I'm constantly trying to do is not be, if we're going through and we're scrolling on TikTok or we're scrolling on Instagram, we see make $1 million, or do you want to know how to close 50 deals next week? And how do you separate yourself? Because for me, every time I make content or I do something, maybe I don't put out as much because I don't want to look like that 12-year-old kid that's telling you how to sell 50 deals next week because how do you separate yourself when you're building your content?
Yeah, absolutely. I think it all comes down to being authentic and genuine and, a straight shooter with no fluff or, promising things that are probably not going to happen. If I did see someone make a video telling me how to, close 50 deals in the next week, I would probably be like, I wonder if that's really true.
Yeah.
So for me, everything that I have posted has been based on my experience and what I have done. And I think that is one of the things that separates me from other creators because you can go back to my very first videos that I posted way back in the day of me making cold calls. The very first cold call I made to a for sale by owner, I recorded it and I posted it on my YouTube channel. So for the past, almost 10 years, you can almost see the transformation that Loida has had from
Right.
when she was new to where she is now. So I think it gives people a better perspective to see, okay, I can see where Loida started, but she kept on putting in the work, kept on working on her skills, and she's gone to the point where she is now. Where nowadays we see a lot of just coaches and people pop up on YouTube just telling
Yeah.
you what to do, but I can't really reference or see if they have done it or what they were like before. So I think for me that specifically is one of the things that people see and they can relate to.
Right, right. I do too. And they can watch that path and that how you've built up and done it. And you can talk from real experience when you're
Mhm.
coaching an agent or training an agent. I think there's a difference between reading it in a book and actually being through the scenario and being able to fix that.
Exactly. Yep.
So would you say that you're doing more coaching and selling classes than selling real estate now?
Nowadays, yes, but I'm also selling real estate. But now instead of me doing, the activities that I used to do years ago of just being on the phones or knocking on the doors 24/7, I built it to a way that I have agents on my team. I get referrals. So now if I don't personally want to work a specific lead that comes in, I have people that help me. So I'm able to leverage and, being with the company that we're with, it just makes it so much easier. So I think at the end of the day, I don't know for you, but for me, I know that, I don't want to do real estate for the next 50 years or
Yeah.
forever. It's about leveraging and using the resources that we have access to. And for me specifically, I love to teach agents. I love to help agents. That is one of the things that, if you bring me a scenario, I'll break it down and I'll tell you what to do or what to say or how we can get you that deal, or maybe you pass on that client. So for me, it's teaching and training. Now I'm very selective also with certain clients that I decide to take on or pass, or if not, I love to pass it on to other agents on my team so that they also get the learning experience. But at the same time, I'm working alongside with them.
Right. And let's touch back a little bit on your downline. So I'm assuming when you get a lead, you're giving it to somebody in your downline
Yes, if it's
because
someone
you get your
local or yes, absolutely.
because you get paid on your percentage and then you get paid on your downline.
Yes. Mhm.
So how huge is that?
Um, just my downline currently.
No, no, I don't. I mean, like
Oh,
how big is that? You came over and you're building a downline by doing the coaching and training, but being able to build different passive incomes and be
yes.
able to get paid twice on that. How big is that in your career as you're building?
As I'm building right now, it's probably maybe 40% of the total income that I do. So I have the real estate side of just transactions that I do. We have the revenue sharing or, from the agents in my organization. There's also a lot of affiliate sponsorships, partnerships, consulting stuff that I do. So I
Yeah,
don't like to have all my eggs in one basket. I'm very
right.
diversified, even in stuff that's not even related to real estate.
Yeah.
So that's kind of how my world revolves right now.
Yeah, yeah, and I was talking to one of my investors the other day, and he was saying, "Aren't you spreading a little thin?" And I'm like, "Actually, no, because it's all one thing. We're
Mhm.
building this, and it's a business that we've stacked around. So that's what we talked about a little bit before we did it. It's all the same thing. It's
Yep.
we're all building this together. So I always say, so you came over, you really did good with your social media. You already had a marketing experience. Um, you came into it knowing, hey, I have no problems calling people because I've been in sales. So I always say there's 1,000 ways to do real estate. There's so many different ways. You have to be somewhere that can teach you how to do those different ways. How do you, and I always say real estate's going to pick your path. Would you agree to that? Like you were
Yep.
already marketing, you were already aggressive on what you were doing. It's just normal that real estate would take you into that coaching transition. At what point do you feel like you were like, okay, I'm a coach now?
I think it happened around 2020 when everything started happening. By that point, I had already been consistently posting content on YouTube for almost 5 years, and it was getting to the point that I was always getting asked the same, typical 10, 20 questions from agents. So I said to myself, you know what? I need to create something where I bring everyone together and I either teach them live or it's a course or something like that. And that's kind of where my new agent bootcamp started. Initially, it was a 30-day program where it was weekly calls. And I remember thinking to myself, if at least 10 people sign up, I'm going to be so happy because I get to help 10 agents now become better in their business. And to
Right.
my surprise, there were 60 agents that signed up. So I said, you know what, maybe I need to do this again. So then the following month I did it again. Then it was 80, then it was 100, then it was 120. And I said, okay, you know what? Maybe I need to fill this that agents are looking for. And that's kind of when I saw, okay, I'm kind of transitioning from the day-to-day sales to now more teaching and training. And the thing that fulfilled me the most was just getting testimonials and people from telling me, like, Loida, after your first training call, I implemented exactly what you did, and I got my first listing with a for sale by owner. So it just goes to prove that everything that I was teaching was helping agents, and they're getting results. And then that's kind of when I said, okay, you know what? I really love doing this. I love to get the feedback. So let's keep it going.
And how much time do you keep following, as far as how much time are you going through structuring out your week, or structuring? So for me on Saturdays, I'm structuring out my week. How much, as far as how much content do I put out? How many classes do I put out? When do you have the need for different things? So how much time would you say you put towards your week of just planning?
Yeah. So I also like to do it on Saturday afternoons. I like to see maybe what's happening just in general when it comes to real estate. But what I really like to do is at least put 2 pieces of content long form on my YouTube channel now every week, whether it's me going on a live stream or me posting an actual recorded video. And then aside from that, posting shorts. When it comes to courses and training programs, so initially my New Agent Bootcamp, I was doing it live. And over the years, now it has just evolved into a self-guided course that people can watch and learn anytime, no matter where they are in the world. So now that doesn't take a lot of time. And when it comes to just thinking of, new programs that I want to create or do, it just I usually like to plan it based on what I see people are struggling with, but it's not a huge priority for me to say, you know what, I need to do a program every single month, because
Yeah.
for me, I'm not like that type of person. I'd rather, if I see there's a need, okay, more agents need to learn about objection handling. So maybe I need to do something like that. But as of right now, I really have enjoyed just doing YouTube live streams, because many times editing or sending it off to someone, it can take some time. And when you
Right.
go live on YouTube, you hit start the stream, and then that's it. So I've been able to partner up with some people. Sometimes it's just me, and then I'll just go on for 30-40 minutes. I like to use the community tab on my YouTube channel a lot, just to see what people are looking for or what kind of content they want to see.
Right.
One of the pieces of feedback that I've gotten is that they want more longer videos. So I have been testing that. I'm always playing around and testing, different lengths, whether it's 20 minutes, 40 minutes, 30 minutes. And I've gotten a very good response with over 30 minutes when it comes to focusing on a specific topic. So that's kind of like what I like to do now. But usually on Saturdays is kind of when I'll break down what I want to focus on for that week, or whether it's a certain day that I'm going to record, or interviews that I'm going to do, and things like that.
So as going through, how many revenues do you have? You don't have to tell us what they are, but going through being at a company like Real, has that helped you build your different revenues and given you a bigger stage and a bigger way to be able to reach more people?
Yes, it has. I think as of right now, I've counted, it's probably like 9 different streams.
9 different?
Yeah.
Yeah, and it allows you to just, that's what my thing was just building off, and you get to learn from so many different people. I get to talk to you, I get to talk to different people. I'm learning different things after being in the business for so long, and I feel like with the tech and the background and all the stuff that I know, I'm like, I can't really learn anymore. And then I came over and I'm like, I don't really know as much as I think I know, you
Yep.
know. Now, do you implement Go High at all into your business?
Yes, one of the sources that I use that hosts my courses and my personal website uses Go High Level on the back end.
And how much do they pay to are your classes? Do you have like a monthly, or is it one time?
It's just a one time. So right now I just have my New Agent Bootcamp, which is 197.
$197, and then that gives them access every time you add something that goes on there.
Yes. And then I have a private Facebook group where I'll go in there and occasionally I'll do trainings, or if I have anything going on or a special or an event, I'll promote it on there. So those students, those agents that have participated in that boot camp, they can also collaborate and network and send each other referrals. So it's like a little community aside from the actual course.
Yeah. And that's what I like about this is we really get to feed off of each other and work off of what everybody's doing, because we don't have the same audience. So it doesn't affect us. I think there's so many people that go, I'm not going to share, I'm not going to do this. But the same people that are watching me and following me are not watching this person and this person and this person. We have different audiences.
Exactly.
So you just get to build from each other, but you're not taking from each other.
Yeah. And I've always been the type of person that, you can't have a scarcity mindset. There's business out there enough for everyone. And at the end of the day, for me personally, I want to do stuff that fulfills me and gives me a purpose. And I love to help agents. I love to help others. And that's why I have created, over 400 videos on my YouTube channel that I remember even back in the day. And even recently, people are like, why do you give so much free information? Or agents will say, you know what? You in one video in 10 minutes told me everything that I needed to know, but I've been asking other agents at my office and nobody wants to tell me because they think that like I'm going to go and steal their leads. And I just say, if 1,000 people are watching me, probably only one is really going to implement absolutely everything. And if they do, great, because then now you see that what I told you was actually true and I'm not making stuff up.
Yeah. So what would you say to an agent or a broker, team lead that's kind of on the fence, that doesn't know whether they should come over or not come over? They want to know more information about it. What would you say would be a key thing that would help them grow or help them come over with their business?
Yeah,
what would push them over?
Of course, I would say, take a look at your numbers, where they are now at the company that you're with, and just kind of compare to see if it would make sense for you to move on over to, for example, Real. Anthony and myself, we have very different structures. And Anthony, you have a very large team. So whether you have a question for me or Anthony or anybody else, there's so many different agents and teams and organizations that, you have to explore and even reach out. At the end of the day, maybe Real is not for you, but unless you figure out if it makes sense, if the numbers are there, if you're open to the different streams of income, perhaps you're at a company that doesn't offer you, revenue share or stock or anything like that. Something that I see all the time is agents that sell so many different homes, let's say 100 homes, and then they just get like a glass little trophy.
Yeah.
I'm like, did you get any stock or revenue share? Do you have a team? And so I would say explore that option.
And stop building other people's businesses and build your own. Even though you're under there, it allows you to learn and build all those different things. Exactly. Okay. Last question. So if the Loida now could give one piece of advice to the Loida on her first day of real estate, what would that piece of advice be?
Oh man, the Loida on the first day of real estate, I think that was like May or April of 2015. I would say, be fearless in going after what you're capable of doing, because you will accomplish a lot of things if you stick through, stay focused, and surround yourself with the right people that are going to take you to the next level.
Definitely. Thank you so much for being on. Again, we're doing a huge women's event here next month too, and Loida will be in Bakersfield.
Yes, I will. I'm going back to California, people. So if you're watching this, make sure to stay tuned for the details on that.
Let's go. Thank you so much, Loida.
Yes, you're welcome. Thank you for having me.
Talk to you soon.
Okay.
Bye-bye.